Blackouts don't play fair. In some places, losing power is annoying. In others, the exact same outage turns into heat stress, no water, and no realistic way to move. It's not about better or worse states. It's geography, infrastructure, and how fast normal life falls apart. Here are 7 places where a grid failure can hit harder than most people expect and what usually breaks first. Arizona. Arizona isn't dangerous because it's dramatic. It's dangerous because it's simple. Heat. In a lot of Arizona homes, air conditioning isn't comfort, it's life support. When the grid goes out, indoor temps climb fast, and the desert doesn't give you many natural cooling cheats the way a coastal breeze might. What goes first is temperature control, then sleep, then decision-making. Because when you don't cool down at night, you don't recover. People start making dumb choices just to feel relief, like driving around wasting fuel or opening doors and windows during the hottest hours. If you're in a place like this, your prep isn't more gear, it's a plan for heat. Shade strategy, night cooling strategy, battery fans, evaporative options if your humidity allows it, and water as priority 1, not priority 3. Texas. Texas has 2 problems that team up. One is extremes, heat that can be brutal, and cold that can be surprisingly dangerous. The other is scale, long distances, huge demand, and a grid setup that can be harder to lean on outside help when things go sideways. When Texas fails, it can fail big, not every outage, but the major ones. What goes first depends on the season. In winter events, heating becomes the emergency. In summer events, it's the opposite. Either way, water becomes a hidden crisis, because water systems need power for pumping, pressure, and treatment. So the Texas prep is not just generator talk. It's insulation, draft control, a way to keep one room livable, water stored ahead of time, and a plan to protect plumbing in cold snaps so you don't lose your home while you're trying to survive inside it. California. California's trap is density plus dependence. In big cities, people don't just rely on electricity for lights. They rely on it for elevators, for payment systems, for refrigeration, and often for moving water. In a blackout, what goes first isn't panic, it's convenience. Elevators stop, and suddenly a high-rise turns into a stair problem. Water pressure drops on upper floors because pumps are electric. Stores can't process payments. Refrigeration fails. The city doesn't collapse instantly, it stalls, and stalling at scale creates stress fast. If you're in an apartment-heavy area, your prep is different than someone with a backyard and a shed. Think stair readiness, light and battery planning, water storage that's realistic for your building, and a plan for, what if I can't leave and I shouldn't leave? Because movement gets ugly when everyone has the same idea. Florida. Florida is heat, but not desert heat. It's humidity heat. The kind that makes your body work harder because sweat doesn't cool you the same way. Add hurricanes and flat terrain, and outages often come with extra problems. Flooding, contamination, and long restoration times. What goes first is cooling and comfort, but it turns into a health risk quickly for kids, seniors, and anyone with medical vulnerability. Then food spoils fast. Then sanitation becomes a headache, sometimes literally. Florida prep is no power living skills, battery fans, shade and airflow, cold pack strategy for meds and food, hygiene planning, and if storms are part of your reality, you plan for wet conditions and contaminated water, not just darkness. New York. New York's trap is vertical. When you live stacked on top of other people, power is movement, power is water pressure, power is trains. Power is the whole rhythm of daily life. When the grid goes down in a place like New York City, the first failure is access. Elevators stop, subways stop, water becomes unreliable on higher floors. Response times get worse because streets clog and systems don't coordinate cleanly. If you're there, your prep is stair-based. Can you do dozens of flights carrying what you need? If not, what's your plan? Do you have lights and batteries that last? Can you shelter in place for a while without needing to go somewhere for basics? In dense cities, the smart move is often to go boring and stay boring. Stay put, conserve, and wait out the chaos window. Alaska. Alaska is the opposite of Arizona, cold and distance. When the power goes out in extreme cold, you don't get days to figure it out. You get hours before pipes freeze, rooms become unlivable, and your margin shrinks. What goes first is heating, then fuel, Then outside help, because resupply and rescue can be delayed by weather and distance even in normal times. Alaska prep is mostly about heat retention, sealing drafts, insulating, creating one small warm zone, layering clothing like you mean it, fuel discipline, redundancy, because I'll just run to the store is not always a real option. Louisiana's trap is the compound disaster. Low-lying terrain, flood risk, storm damage, and heat and humidity that can punish you when power and water systems fail together. Here, a blackout is rarely only a blackout. It's often paired with water issues, sewage issues, contamination, and access problems. What goes first is power. Then water quality and sanitation start to get sketchy fast, especially if there's flooding. Louisiana prep is flood aware. Know where the high ground is. Store essentials elevated. Have a way to purify water. Have hygiene supplies that don't depend on running water. And don't assume you'll be able to drive out cleanly once roads are compromised. The real pattern. These states aren't bad. The risk isn't the people. The risk is dependency. The more your body relies on electricity to stay normal, the faster an outage turns serious. Heat and cold, water access, vertical living, flooding, distance. So if you live in one of these places, the move isn't panic. It's targeted prep. Temperature control, mostly passive when possible. Water stored and purifiable. Reduced movement plans. A stay put and stay boring mindset until systems stabilize, because grid failure isn't equal. If you understand how your location turns a blackout into a trap, you can work around the risk instead of meeting it for the first time when the lights go out.